colligative properties. Colligative property number 2. Colligative property number 2, we are going to study osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure is what? The external pressure. This pressure is applied from the external source. External pressure exerted on the solution. So we apply this pressure on the solution to prevent, to stop or to oppose the osmosis of the solvent. We have to stop the osmosis of solvent particles, and to stop that osmosis process we exert external pressure on the solution to prevent the osmosis of solvent into the solution through the semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane, remind, it is a membrane which has very minute pores and allowed only one directional flow. It allows the flow of only solvent particles, not of the solute particles. That's why it is called semi-permeable membrane. Repeating the point again, colligative property number 2, osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure, it is the pressure applied in the opposite direction to prevent the osmosis of solvent into the solution through the semi-permeable membrane, not directly. It prevents the flow of solvent through the semi-permeable membrane only. And now, what is osmosis? Osmosis is the process of spontaneous movement. In case of osmosis, the solvent particles moves continuously from low concentration to high concentration solution. The part of the solution where solvent particles have higher concentration, and the moves to the part where the solvent particles have lower concentration in comparison to the first one. So if we can take the two different solutions, and this is the SPM, semi-permeable membrane, and here is the concentration C1, here is the concentration C2. If C1 is less than C2, then solvent particles try to move from C1 to C2 through the semi-permeable membrane. So this process is called osmosis, and during that movement solvent particles exert a pressure. That pressure is called osmotic pressure. Okay. Next, types of osmosis. There are 3 types of osmosis. Number 1 is the exo-osmosis. Exo means exist karna. So if I am taking a point, inside this the concentration is C1, outside this concentration is C2. Now if I will assume C1 is less than C2, then the solvent particles moves outward from this C1 concentration. When the particles moves out, that is called exo-osmosis. And if we take the reverse fact, if C1 is greater than C2, then the particles moves inside the object from the solution. This is called endo-osmosis. The solvent particles moves inside to the object, and in case of exo-osmosis, this is exo-osmosis and this is endo-osmosis. Clear? Next is the type number 3 is reverse osmosis. So reverse osmosis, when the pressure is applied, so solvent particles are moving from C1 to C2. If we exert a pressure on this solution, then I am assuming that P1, P is the pressure, osmotic pressure, PO. If P is greater than PO, then the solvent particles do not move from C1 to C2. Now these particles moves from C2 to C1. Now this is reverse osmosis. This is called reverse osmosis. When the pressure exerted on the solution is greater than the osmotic pressure, then the osmosis is reversed. Then that is called reverse osmosis. We can take some examples. Exo-osmosis. In case of exo-osmosis, we take an egg inside the salty solution. Then the water contents from the egg inside moves to the salty water. So water molecules comes out from the egg, that is called exo-osmosis. If we take endo-osmosis, we have to take an egg inside a pure water. Then the pure water moves inside the egg and the egg gets swelled up. that is called endoosmosis. Solvent contains water molecules moves inside the egg. We can take similar examples with the किसमिस का भी हम यूज कर सकते हैं, किसमिस में भी फ्रूट्स के अंदर भी इसी तरह का एग्जांपल लिया जा सकता है, एक्सो और एंडोओस्मोसिस. ग्रेप्स से किसमिस बनाने की जो प्रोसेस है दैट इज एक्सो, सॉल्वेंट पार्टिकल्स वाटर को बाहर निकाला जाता है विद द हेल्प ऑफ सॉल्ट, एंड एंडो टू स्वेल अप द फ्रूट्स when they are kept in a pure water, that is called endoosmosis. Reverse osmosis is used to purify the water from salty water. Salty water have higher concentration, we apply the higher pressure than the osmotic, then it shows reverse osmosis and the pure water moves from high concentration to low concentration. Okay, now let's check out the derivation for osmosis. Osmosis, osmotic pressure, it just have the derivation similar to the ideal gas equation. The ideal gas equation you have studied in the 11th class, that is pi into V equal to nRT. In case of 11th class we use it P, pressure. Here we take osmotic pressure with the help of pi. So the relation for the osmotic pressure is pi into V equal to nRT. Pi is the osmotic pressure, V is the volume, N is the number of moles of solute. R is called universal gas constant, have the values 0.083 or 8.314. We use it according to the unit of 0.083 or 8.314. This is liter atm per mole per Kelvin, and this is joule per mole per Kelvin. So in this case we use this value due to liter atm unit, that is pressure. T is the temperature. We can modify the formula pi into V equal to number of moles, that is weight of the solute divided by molar mass of solute into R into T. So we can calculate the molar mass of the solute by this colligative property. Remind, this colligative property is the highest preferred out of the all four colligative properties, because this colligative property has a significant magnitude of the answer. The osmotic pressure can be determined at the room temperature easily, as well as the value of osmotic pressure is neither very small and nor very high. So it is an average, it has less magnitude of errors. So this colligative property, osmotic pressure, is highly preferred for the determination of molar mass of the non-volatile solutes. That is over about the osmotic pressure.